Thinking about writing a book? We all know most service and self-published books barely recoup $200 over their sales lifetime. And we know the road to a traditional imprint is slow and frustrating. So let's talk a little bit about the book business and how it really works and what you need to think about before you put pen to paper or fingers to keyboard. I'm Claudia Suzanne, the ghostwriting expert, and I've been in this game for over 35 years. My expertise is built on, having made every single possible mistake many times over. I was so naive when I wrote my first book, I didn't even realize it was a New York Times niche bestseller. The first title ever plugged on MTV. It was lauded in Grammy polls. I had no idea what any of that meant or what I should do with it. Believe me, I've learned a lot since then. I became a ghostwriter, then an industry authority, then developed ghostwriting professional designation program, then got it into Cal State Long Beach, then built it up to a master's level rigor, and then watched it win an UPSIA Outstanding Non-Credit Program Award. Just to put it out there, I've launched more professional ghostwriting careers than anyone else in history. But that's enough about me. Let's talk about your book. I'm going to be bluntly honest about why so many service, self, and even hybrid published books don't return a profit. There are essentially three ways to write a book. The first and most common is to, sit down and write a book. Upside, you get to say what you want to say, the way you want to say it. And downside, it's not marketable. The second way is to work with an experienced writer. Someone knows how to maintain your voice and style so the book ends up saying, exactly what you want it to say, exactly the way you want it said. Downside, it's saleable to friends, family, and colleagues and audiences, but its appeal and distribution is limited to those readers who already are attached to it, in other words, invested in you. The third path is to work with someone who understands the difference between the consumer picture of the book business and the insider realities of the multi-hundred billion dollar global book industry. They know the artistry and craft of writing the book is only about a third of what goes into a successful title. In other words, they know how to help you reach your personal vision of success. They also know that every author has their own reason for writing their book, so the first step in any project must be to determine how you're going to define your book's success. I don't know why this isn't more obvious, but no one can hit a bullseye if they don't even have a target. And an arrow can't go in more than one direction at the same time. I'm not saying a book can't or won't provide multiple returns. I'm saying they can't all be the primary focus, because that's just logically impossible. Since I'm being bluntly honest, please recognize that Amazon's backlist contains tens of millions of titles at any given time, and hundreds of millions of new books are being written and published at any given time. Every published book earns an income, just not necessarily for their author. The most consistent book industry revenue streams are to the entities that make their money from, not for, writers and authors. Entities like Amazon, the ultimate global flea market, the pay-to-publish and misnomer self-publishing services, co-authors and collaborators who take a piece of every pie they bake, the supply chain entities and back-office service providers, and on the bottom rung, publishers and booksellers. Notice who's not on that august list? You. Because to an author, the book is all about the triumphs. To the industry, it's just another widget. That's why my certified ghostwriter teams and I start every project by aiming for the end result that you personally want. We know what it takes to make a great idea or a good book into a marketable literary property. No matter how you define success for your book, this approach gives you options. You can pitch it to literary agents and traditional publishers. You can go straight to a hybrid house. You can pay a publishing service if you want. You can keep all the control in your own hands and self-publish. And your marketable literary property can be easily converted for audio and digital formats. So send us an email, leave us a message, or schedule a one-on-one complimentary consultation. I'd love to hear about the marketable literary property you envision and help you figure out your goals, your path, and your success plan.